Hey, Laura J. Hamilton here, drinking my morning coffee out of a mug that I bought when I was road tripping out to British Columbia with a friend that I really wanted to date a few years ago. And the irony was, he wouldn't date me. He had a lot of things going on in his own life at the time, and so he fully said, "You're awesome, and I can't." And it was hard for me to take rejection, as it is for everyone to face rejection when we think we want something and then we don't get it. But the reality is that the universe will force someone to reject you if their acceptance of you would prevent you from experiencing and fulfilling your highest potential. I truly believe that. And so his rejection of me allowed me to be free so that when the opportunity arose, I could go to England and live there for 3.5 years and have the transformational experience that next relationship allowed me to experience. And so this mug was the catalyst for this video because I bought it on this trip. And I will always remember being it's in BC. It's a beautiful place called Harrison Lake. And it was at this place where we went camping before I moved back to Ontario. And I basically said to him, I really want to know that we're dating before I leave. And that was when we had the conversation where he said, "I'm really sorry, but no." And so that night was obviously uncomfortable, sleeping in our tent and me being pissed off that he wasn't willing to do what I wanted him to do, and then him being awkward because he just said the same thing as he'd said the entire time that we'd been seeing each other. And the next morning, he was sleeping in, and I was up early as usual, and I was out sitting by the water, and I was writing in my journal, and I had the epiphany that I heard myself finally say, "You don't love me the way I need you to." And then I realized that was not the first time I had heard that message. That was the same thing that I heard every time anyone didn't accept me or treat me the way that I wanted them to. And so, "You don't love me the way I need you to" had nothing to do with him and had everything to do with me. So releasing that story was nothing to do with him at all. He was just the mirror that forced me to see myself. And then it was up to me to do the work to love myself, to know that I matter, to know that I don't need someone else's approval in order for me to be good enough. And I hope, for your sake, that you will be willing to shift your experience and perspective of rejection to understand that when someone rejects you, whether it's the popular kids, whether it is a boyfriend or a girlfriend, a family member, or whether it is someone else entirely, their rejection of you is a requirement for you to step into the fullness of who you are. Because if they accepted you, you wouldn't become that person. You wouldn't need to stretch yourself. You wouldn't need to grow into the person that does what you're meant to do. And the universe will sabotage a relationship that would sabotage you. So shift your perspective about rejection and recognize that it is a gift that has been orchestrated for your divine potential. And may this reminder from my handcrafted mug serve you today and always. Much love. Laura J. Namaste.